starting starting to prepare for this very good certification on information security. Now, before we have a question answer round and where we will discuss about your queries and all those things, I would like to just introduce you to this certification or methodology of training and what needs to be done to approach this examination and to clear this examination in the first attempt itself. Now, as you know that CISSP was the first certification for information security, and it's globally recognized, and you'll find that it's most sought after certification in information security. There are a few things about the certification. First of all, it's like we call it as a gold standard. As I was saying, this certification being the first certification in information security, they do follow certain kind of strict procedure for certifying people and to maintain their certification. So they are following some best practices in the industry. That's why it is called as gold standard. One major part about this or factor about the certification is like it's kind of a vendor neutral kind of IT certification. When we say vendor neutral, we are talking about the concepts and technologies. Even in the examination, you will not find any question which relates to any Cisco product or Microsoft product. So pure concepts and technologies are discussed here. Again, as I was saying, they follow good practice. They also follow this ISO standard of 17024. That's a ISO standard for personal certification. So we have few additional things to maintain your certification, to to keep the value of the certification over a period of time. We'll discuss those things later on. Again, the parent body is ISSP, that is International Information System Security Certification Consortium. It's a basically a US-based organization, but now it has a global presence. Japan, Europe, and a lot of other places, they do have their offices. Apart from that, they do have chapters in almost more than 100 countries. So in India also, we have just started one chapter in Delhi. So once you become a member of ISSP, you can also get benefits of that particular chapter. Okay. Now, a lot of benefits, as you might be aware of, CISSP will give you a lot of benefits. First thing is that being a globally recognized certification, you get once you certified on this certification on this CISSP certification, you get a global recognition. So your certificate will be carrying a lot of value, and you can join any organization across the globe, and they are looking for CISSP certified people. Also, as you know, the examination is quite tough, but once you pass that exam, that confirms that you're also very good in that particular area of information security. It also tells about your dedication you put and efforts you put in getting that certification. Again, once you get certified, you become from career point of view, okay, what I've seen across the industry, that people who are certified, they get a lot of new opportunities to work with, and that gives you some kind of incentive also. So there are a lot of benefits. Apart from that, once you become certified, you become member of ISSP, you get a lot of benefits from ISSP. They have they work in this area of information security. They do a lot of research activities. So you get all those research reports and all those things. They regularly carry have these webinars on information security. They do have seminars. They will send you newsletters and magazines, information security magazines. So a lot of things that will help you to update your knowledge and keep your knowledge updated, maybe we can say, in this dynamic field of information security. And like what I've seen, across the globe, people, maybe in the government as well as private sector, they're looking for certified people. And like in US, most of NSA positions, roles, they require you mandatory. It's a mandatory requirement for you to have the CISSP certification. So all in all, that will help you in getting a good we can say exposure to all those areas also. Now coming back to the CISSP certification itself. Now CISSP examination is based on something called as common body of knowledge that is being developed by the ISS square itself. Now this common body of knowledge talks about 8 domains of information security, and the examination will be based on these 8 domains. Now, the first domain is the security and risk management. So basically, this domain will be, talking about the fundamentals of security. What is information security management? What is governance? What are the things we need to understand about how to, have good governance, IT governance, security governance in your organization. Compliance part, so maybe regulatory compliance, the importance of that, how we can maintain the compliance, laws which are followed across the globe, what are the major types of laws. Apart from that, the importance of regulations. And earlier we had a separate domain, that is before April 15, 2015, last year. Business continuity and disaster recovery was separate domain. Now business continuity concept we'll be discussing in the first domain itself. The disaster recovery is taken up in the security operations domain. So in all, this first domain is talking about a lot of things. Apart from that, we also discuss about risk management and how to manage the risk. The second domain is access control, or now it has been renamed to identity and access management. So an important concept in security, so where you are going to provide only access only to the authorized people, and how you're going to stop unauthorized people from getting entry to the information systems. So all these concepts of what are the different types of models, how we can maintain the access control or identity and access management across the organization, how to administer that, and what are the important threats and what are the countermeasures based on that. We are also talking about nowadays the cloud-based services. So identity as a service, what are the things involved, federated identity management. So a lot of concepts are discussed in this identity and access management domain. The third domain is the security engineering domain. So earlier this domain was called as security architecture and design. Now it has been renamed to security engineering. And here we'll be talking about different types of architecture. So right from IT architecture to how to deliver a security architecture in your organization. Apart from that, we'll also be discussing about the system architecture and some of the security models which an security architect can incorporate in the overall security architecture of the organization. Apart from that, the concepts of cryptography are discussed in this domain. So earlier cryptography was a separate domain, but now in the 8 domains format, cryptography will be part of security engineering. And also the concepts of physical security will be discussed in this domain. So overall a big topic and a lot of concepts being discussed in this topic. The fourth domain is communication and network security. It talks about how to secure your information on the network, or whether it is stored on system or the data at rest, as we call it. We'll be discussing about different networking protocols, how to maintain security for the devices, how to maintain communication security, the concept of IPsec, the SSL, and other things. Apart from that, we'll also be discussing about the wireless security, how to maintain that and what are the best practices for that, and some of the major attacks and what are the countermeasures for that. The fifth domain is asset security. So basically it's a kind of a best practices for how to maintain security of the assets, your information asset. So right from how to classify the information, and what are the things which are involved in classification process itself. Okay, who does the classification and how to proceed about that. So these concepts will be discussed in asset security. Security assessment and testing talks about how to maintain the or the controls itself, how the controls are giving you the security which is required. So we check about effectiveness of the controls, whether the controls are giving you the enough level of security which is required from security parts of your organization. So all these things will be discussed, the different concepts of what is penetration testing, what is security assessment, different levels of testings, what we carry out, the code reviews, and all those things will be discussed in this security assessment and testing. Apart from that, we'll also be discussing about the audit process and all. Security operations is something about the day-to-day security of your operations. So when people work in any organization, they handle a lot of things, your systems, network, and all those things. So we discuss some of the best practices which are required to be in place, so that the incidences, security incidents which are a daily occurrence can be brought down. So in this domain, we'll be talking about a lot of best practices, like just like your ITIL practices, incident management, problem management, change management. Apart from that, we'll also be discussing about the investigation process. So cybercrime investigation, what are the best practices, how to carry out all those things. We'll also be discussing about disaster recovery, what are the strategies which we can implement to recover from any disaster, and what are the best practices for that. Apart from that, we'll also be discussing about some controls as far as physical security is concerned. So that was about the security operations domain. The next domain is, or the final domain is software development security, a very important area in overall security, where we are talking about how to get a secure application developed. So what are the things required when we say security to be a part of your application? So normally what we see across practically, people develop the software, and after that they try to patch their software, identify the vulnerabilities and try to patch up, but that is not a best practice. So what we need to do is we need to incorporate security in each and every step of the software development life cycle. So all these concepts we'll be discussing. We'll be discussing about the types of development processes which are followed across the globe. And apart from that, we'll also be discussing about the concepts of database and data warehousing. Apart from that, object-oriented programming. These are the things which we are using nowadays. And we'll also be discussing about the new things which are coming up, like artificial intelligence and all those stuff. So these are the 8 domains for the CISSP exam which you need to prepare. And the questions will be based on these 8 domains itself. Now for the certification examination itself, so actually when we look at this CISSP certification, it's a 2-part process. The first thing is your experience part, and the other thing is the examination part. Okay. So from experience point of view, there are certain requirements for CISSP candidate. That is, it requires minimum of 5 years of full-time security experience in 2 or more of the 8 the 8 domains what we have just discussed. So 2 or more domains, your experience should be mapped to. Again, there are certain waivers. So for example, if you have a degree certificate of like your college degree of 4 years, so you will get maximum of 1 year waiver in experience. So you'll only require 4 years of experience. But even if you don't have any experience, like maybe you're a fresher, or maybe your experience is not 5 years, maybe 2-3 years, like that. So in that case, you can still appear for the examination. You can clear the examination, and you will be called as associate of IC square. And what you need to do is, you'll get 6 years time period wherein you can get your required number of years of experience. Maybe if you're a fresher, 5 years of experience will be required, so you can get it after that, after the CISSP certification exam, and then you'll be called as associate. So once you get that experience, 5 years experience, then you'll be getting a full CISSP certification. The examination fee is $599. So what you need to do is to register for the examination, you can visit to ISSP website, and if you go to CISSP section, there is a link for registration of CISSP exam, and that will, once you click on that, that will take you to Pearson VUE Center, because Pearson VUE is the authorized center for CISSP exam, and not all the Pearson VUE centers are authorized. So maybe one in every city is authorized to carry out this examination. So you need to look for availability of the slot, and then you can register for the exam, and you can go for this examination. Then appear for the exam, pass the exam. You need to score at least 700 out of possible 1000 points. And once you pass the examination, there's a process of endorsement. So your application needs to be endorsed by maybe some ISSP member, or you can directly send your application to ISSP. They will endorse your application. Endorsement is nothing but verifying whatever experience you have mentioned. Say for example, if you have mentioned some experience in network security and some experience in maybe operation security, that experience needs to be verified by someone. So this endorsement process is just like that. So you need to prepare a resume, send it to the ISSP member, any of member which you know, or if you don't know, you can directly send it to ISSP. They will check and verify your experience, and once that is done, you will get a certificate from ISSP, CISSP certificate. Once you get the certification, there's a process of maintaining the certification. So since as I was saying, it follows the ISO standard 17024, that is certification. The ISO standard for personal certification. So that requires you to do a lot of activities to maintain your certification, so that your certification doesn't become an outdated certification. So that if you have passed your certification maybe a few years back, so it should not be the case that it's outdated now. So there's a process of continuing professional credits, CPE credits, which you need to earn. So like you can attend webinars, you can attend a vendor's presentation, you can read something on security or write a blog on security, articles on security, that will earn some kind of credits. And you need to earn those kind of credits. Apart from that, you need to pay $85 as the fee for annual maintenance. So that is the requirement for your maintaining the certification itself. Now coming back to the examination format, now CISSP exam is like a 6 hours examination, and there will be 250 multiple choice question. When I say multiple choice, there will be 4 options given to you, and out of 4 only one is the best or correct answer, we can say. Now we have to select that correct answer, and as you know, nowadays some of the questions will be like straightforward, some of them will be like scenario based. So the same concept will be discussed in kind of a scenario, and you have to identify which is the correct option for that. Apart from that, nowadays there are some new types of questions, but not many. 1 or 2 drag and drop kind of a question, or hotspot kind of question, where you need to identify, suppose if you have given a network diagram and some area is highlighted, so maybe you need to identify what that device is. For example, it can be a firewall or IDS or something like that. So these kind of questions are getting introduced in this CISSP exam itself. And when we say 250 questions, out of 250, 225 questions are actually graded. That means you will get marks only on 250 questions, 225 questions. 25 questions are for research purpose, so that will not give you any kind of credit. But which 25 out of 250 we don't know. So the best practice always here is like to solve each and every question, because there is no negative marking. So you can always, if you don't know the answer, don't leave any question unanswered. Maybe your choice is correct choice. So there is one thing you need to always remember while going with the examination. Now exam passing, as I was saying, 700 out of 1000. So how do they arrive 700 points out of 225 questions? The questions are graded as per their difficulty level. So more difficult question will give you more credits as compared to a less difficult question. So likewise you get 1000 points. But people do say that this examination is very tough, all questions are difficult, but I disagree with this kind of statement. Yes, I do agree that there are questions which are difficult, but there will always be a mix of difficult, less difficult kind of questions. So you can always try to solve this less difficult question in the initially, and then go with the difficult questions. Okay, now coming back to how to prepare for the examination. Now everyone will have most of the times what we see in this kind of examination, CISSP exam, where almost everyone is like working professional. So to find some time for preparation sometimes becomes very difficult. But yes, we can do it, and it's not something which we cannot do. What we need to do is to properly manage our time. Whatever time we get, we should properly devote it for studying for this examination, because CISSP examination is not like any other examination where you just go through some kind of a workshop, and then on the final day you appear for the exam and you clear the exam. This examination will require you some kind of a practice, and since the stakes are very high, the fees is very high, we need to do a good preparation for that, and then appear for the examination. We can plan for this, right? So first thing is like you need to manage your time very well, because say for example you're working, so you might be getting around 3 to 4 hours or maybe 2 to 3 hours in a day for preparation. Now what you can do is like devote your 1.5 hours in the morning, or and 1.5 in the evening or after work. Maybe you can start early for the office, spend some time for preparation, then you start your actual work, and before leaving you can wait in the office and do the preparation 1.5 like that, and then you can start for the home. In that way you can also avoid traffic in that sense, and you can manage your this preparation very well. Again, as you know, the CISSP exam is something where it's not only about testing your security skills. It also it is also testing your managerial skills also. Like for example, how in a given situation you can take a good decision. Okay, so your decision making skill is also tested in this examination. So that's why we say you need some kind of a practice. So if you go through some of the questions, then you come to know in a given situation what kind of decisions you can which one is the best solution for that particular problem. Sometimes you also have to look for the cost benefit analysis, because as we know, security is something which is like cost factor to any organization. So you are working in a very limited budget and resources, so how best you can utilize these things and get the best results out of that. Also, as I was saying, CISSP exam is a 6 hours exam. You need a lot of patience, you need a lot of practice. What you can do is, while preparing, you can start with say 10-15 questions, then go with 50 questions, sit at one place and try to solve those 50 questions. Then go on increasing the number of questions, say for example 100, 150, 200, 250. So in this way, I know that we since we don't have any kind of since like in college days where we have this habit of preparation and all. Once you join any organization, then because of work and all those things, we have very limited time to do all these activities. But yes, you need to find out some time, maybe weekends or something, where you can spend some time, 2-3 hours, 4 hours at one place, try to solve the number of questions you can in single sitting. Also memory power, as written here, because there are a lot of terminologies and things which will be introduced when we discuss about a lot of concepts and technologies. So you need to remember those things because some questions are directly based on that. So if you don't remember what that technology or that concept is, or what that particular term means, you'll be finding it difficult to answer the question. So but that can be easily handled by doing some kind of practice and going through the concepts and material. And learning from mistakes is very much essential because, as we know, when we work practically in any area, say for example security, we might not be following the best practices when we work. But this kind of examination, which is talking about the best practices, ideal situation, we have to disconnect from our actual working and think about the best practices, because sometimes we make some mistakes because our mindset is like that this requires this kind of a solution, but that may not be a correct solution. So what we can do is how to rectify this situation if you have some mindset issues. When we solve some questions, keep a track of questions which you're solving and which mistakes you're doing. Now try the same exercise after a few days and see if you're making the same mistakes again or not. If you're making the same mistakes, that means you have not learned from that particular thing. And if you're improved on that, that's a good thing. So these things will help you in assessing yourself. So your self-assessment is very much required while preparation. Okay, few more things like you can as we discussed, there are 8 domains. So what you can do is you can start with one domain. One by one you can tackle eight domains. Few domains are big, as I was discussing. Security engineering and the first domains. Those are big domains. So along with big domain, you can also take one small domain. So in a week's time, you can even target at least 2 domains like that. Always while reading book or going through some material, always keep a habit of taking some notes, so because some concepts are you can get it within 1 or 2 sentences. So always highlight those things, because while reviewing this material you will be you will not have time to go through all the content again and again. So at least you can go with the highlighted points, and that will help you in the final days of your preparation. Then focus on your the concepts and technologies, fundamentals, because this examination is basically talking about the core areas and fundamentals of the security and concepts. So always focus on that. Even if you talk of any scenario based question, difficult question, that is again talking about some fundamentals of security. So if you are able to capture that what that question is asking about, so then it's very easy for you to handle those kind of questions. So focus on the basics more. And as you might be aware of, some authors who have written books on CISSP, what they say is like CISSP is inch deep and mile wide. That means concept wise you need not have to go in too much depth, but at the same time there are a lot of concepts to be covered. So while preparation also, there is no need to go in too much depth about any concept. But at the same time, there are a lot of concepts to be covered. Yes, for if you're interested in that particular concept, you can go in as many depth. You can do research on that also. But from examination point of view, that may not be sometimes required, right? Because you have to work in a limited time for preparation also. Then try to solve questions on every domain. So once you read about that domain, try to solve questions on that domain. And I will always say that I always say to my students that always focus on quality rather than quantity of questions, because people do say that someone is giving me some 1,000 2,000 questions bank and all those things, but again it's not the number of questions. Even if you are solving few questions, 10 15 20 100, the quality is important. The source should be very good, because the answer should be correct. Apart from that, you can, as I was saying, assess yourself. You can solve the same exercise again and to see whether you're improving on that or not. It's not about 1,000 questions. It's about limited questions, but preparation should be very perfect. And then you can, once you know about where you're making mistakes, you can work on those mistakes, and you can, work on your weak areas. And this is one of the way, what I say, assessing yourself and finding out your weak areas also. Okay, exam day is again an important thing, because people do face some issues on the exam day also, because sometimes they will take, if you schedule your exam, say for example in the morning 9 o'clock, uh, what I've seen in sometimes, people do prepare throughout the night, for the examination. That is not required. Take a good rest before going for the examination. Even if you prepare for 1 year, on the final day you will feel that you are not prepared enough. So this feeling is like our, natural thing. But again, you have to see to it that you take a proper rest before going for the exam, because it's a 6 hours exam. So yeah, you have to be focused on the on that examination, right? You can also carry some food items, because you can take breaks as much you want, but that clock is not going to stop 6 hours. So manage everything within 6 hours. But what I've seen is nowadays, as we know, it's a computer-based exam, online exam. Managing this 6 hours examination is easier, because like for example, if you're solving the questions, I will always say that in the first round you solve the simple type of questions. There will be a lot of simple type of questions also, so that will, you can easily answer that. So whichever questions which are big or maybe lengthy or something like that, flag those questions. In the second round, then focus, that so and so number of questions you have solved, and this is the time remaining, and so number of questions left, so you can properly manage the time also. Sometimes you'll get hint about the big question in a small question also somewhere else. So it's always a good practice to solve this examination, round by round. Again, I think what I've seen, people who are passing the examination, they've hardly taken 4.5, 5.5 hours to complete the examination, even after reviewing all the questions before submitting the final exam. So you can also do that same thing. That's where the practice becomes very important. So if you practice well, then you will not find difficulty in solving this examination within that prescribed time period. Again, always look for the words like except, never, most, not, and all those things, because the after 100 and 150 questions, most of the times our mind becomes saturated and we will not be able to focus on the question. So if you miss out these words also, even if you know the answer properly, you're going to make mistakes. Okay, so avoid those things. And sometimes if you don't know the answer, you can eliminate the choices. Most of the times two answers are just distractions, so you can remove those, and the remaining two you can then weigh against each other, which one is more complete as compared to the other, and then go with that particular answer. So all those things will help you in solving this examination. And always, as I discussed, mindset issues will always be there, so always try to focus on the best practices and all those things. If you have some mindset, we need to rectify this before the examination itself. Okay, so what we do in boot camps, why boot camps are required? Because maybe it's online or virtual. First thing is you get some kind of a direction, because there are a lot of books and a lot of material available, but how to start, how to begin, and which areas needs to be focused for the examination point of view. So this boot camp helps you in getting a proper direction of the preparation. It also helps you to identify your own weak areas, and since it's like a discussion oriented and all those things, so you'll get all your doubts cleared within that particular workshop also. Uh, Again, when we say workshop, it's always a knowledge sharing. So even the participants do share a lot of their experiences during the workshops. That also helps you in understanding, different areas of security, because most of the times what happens, like people having, experience maybe in 1 or 2 domains. So for example, if I don't know anything about software and software development, so a person who is from that particular domain, when he shares his experience, it becomes a very good learning point for you. So also you can, even after going through this workshop, you can form a group, which always we do, and within that group you share a lot of knowledge with each other. Keep a track of your preparation and others' preparation. That helps you keep motivated for the examination also. And also during the workshop, we talk about or we take up a lot of you know case studies, and all the different scenarios. We discussed a lot of present day whatever security incidents which are happening. So that is again a good thing, a learning thing, which will help you in sometimes solving the questions also. So in the workshop itself, we apart from discussing all the domains, we have like domain-wise assessment. So that will also identify what areas needs to be focused by the candidates. And on the final day, we also have a kind of a assessment which is based on all the domains. So we can try out kind of questions which are which will be like kind of a preparation for your final exam, we can say. Then for certain concepts we do show the tools also, security tools that will also help in remembering or going through that concept. Some videos on security that also helps in understanding the concepts. uh, Apart from that, questions for preparations, and you also get personal attention, and whenever you have any doubt while preparation before you go for the examination, you can anytime approach us and get your doubts and your any all these things clarified from us. Okay, at this point of time, I will hand it out again back to Mahesh. So he will continue with the rest of the discussion.
Thank you very much, Amlesh, for valuable session on how to pass your CISSP in first attempt. I'm sure people are really interested to understand anything else if they have in their mind, okay? And we will be very happy to take that forward. I am opening this session for a question and answer. If you may have any, we will be glad to take it forward. Do we have any questions? Chetan?
Yeah, actually, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So I wanted to know, what is the scope of this boot camp? Is it entirely based, focused on, passing the exam, or is it more about, clearing, like covering all the CISSP, concepts? Now, I've seen, two things, like if when you take IC Square, training official boot camp, it's more focused on, the entire CISSP, book concepts, okay? But there are other few people, who does a boot camp entirely exam focused, wherein, they may skip, few topics, but, focus really on, things which are really, really important for the exam. Now, I know nobody knows what's going to come in the exam, okay? But, there are two ways I've seen in the industry, so, if you can throw some light, Amresh.
Yeah. So basically, when we say, we are talking about the concepts of CISSP, we discuss everything about, the topics. Domain-wise, if you see, we cover everything. Apart from that, the main focus of, candidates for joining for the boot camps, is to, appear for the exam, and, that is also a major area. So basically, here we are focusing on both the things. Once you know the concept, how to tackle the questions is the next something which is added to that. So basically we balance both the things in our workshop. It's not about only the examination, or not only about the concepts. So try to balance both the things.
That can be done in 5 days, right?
Yeah, but that's what a lot of concepts are to be discussed, but we try to do those things in 5 days. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I'll ask my question here. I have few other questions, but I'll wait for other
Sure.
candidates.
Sure.
Thank you, Chetan.
Yeah. This is Sunil here. If I may ask a question.
Yes, please.
The question is regarding the kind of recommended duration between the training or the boot camp and the actual test. Is there any best practice to follow? Is the question clear?
Yeah, Sunil. See, as you know, CISSP is all about, mostly about your security concepts and a lot of things. Now, as far as the best practice is concerned, it depends on candidate to candidate. But what we normally say is that you can take 60 days or 2 months kind of a time period. Okay, as I was saying, there are 8 domains. So you can focus 2 domains per week. You can take a big domain along with that a small domain, okay, kind of a thing. So maybe you can take 5 to 6 weeks in going through the domains itself, and the rest of the days you can go through some of the question sets and all those things, or prepare for making your mind ready for the for the examination. So I think it's always better to have your target date maybe around 1.5 to 2 months. But again, it depends on a particular person to person. But this is a normal way thing what we find, in general thing what we find with most of the candidates.
Okay, okay, and also what we can do to probably reduce this duration before the training.
Hi, Sunil, can you please repeat the question?
Yeah, sure. I think my question there was, is there anything that the candidate can do before the training so that we can reduce this 2 months gap, or we can maximize the time between now and the training?
Thank you. I would like to answer that. Yes, we recommend a reading of the courseware which you will be provided by us. That will be hard copy as well as a soft copy of that. There's a facilitation communication that you will receive from our side, which you can go through that. Again, as Amlesh have mentioned, once you come to a program, so everyone will be on the same page, and he can initiate his program without making everyone again on the bringing everyone on that chapters, clearing or giving that understanding about this program is management concepts all about and various other things, not really technical. Many professionals come with a background of mindset where this is going to be a technical sessions altogether, and then that will be one of the understanding challenge in the program, so that will be avoided. There are various other of course areas that we are coming up. We are coming up with the e-learning content as well, so which will be, of course, that is a journey, and we shall be presenting it to the professionals. Although those who have registered, they will be going ahead with the courseware that is provided, and in future they will also be getting the e-learning access from our side without any additional cost involved into that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mahesh.
Yeah, I have a question from, thank you very much, Sunil. I have a question from Jay Daga. I would like to know about if one doesn't clear the exam in first attempt or for some reason misses the date schedule, then how does it work? Jay, your question is twofold. I'll answer in that. One is when someone doesn't clear in the first attempt, IEVISION is ready to support for the second, of course, the training program. The only factor of administrative amount that will be support that will have to be bared by the professional. That does mean we will not be charging anything for the training program as such. Whatever bare minimum amount of the administrative that is facility charges or anything which will be very limited, that needs to be of course borne by the candidate, which is again I'm coming to that point, that may be somewhere around 20% or 15% of the total amount that you will be paying as of now. Now your next question in that is, for some reason misses the date schedule, when then how it does it work? Okay, that is absolutely based on the Pearson view policy. Okay, and you will have to inform them in advance. There would be some deductions if you are not doing it on time, or you have some challenge, genuine challenge, you cannot do that. Okay, but when we recommend to plan the examination when you are comfortable, and Amlesh have actually given great insight on how to prepare. On top of that, we would like to add one thing, that we recommend 60 days approach for your training as well as the certification writing. When you have the deadline, that is post 60 days you have booked, of course after program, uh, within 60 days or maybe some day, example on 65th day you have booked your examination, you have a target to achieve, and that's where as a professional you will see and you will find out the time. He also Amlesh mentioned you have to take out minimum 1.5 hours, 2 hours a day. You know, find out the time and various ways he has given a technique. That's really great. Once you do that, I'm sure you will be clearing. I hope I have answered your question. Now there is a question from Rupali Goel. She's saying, in case we have any doubts regarding any domain, would we get more details from the trainer or the online contract that we will be shared, content that will be shared? Rupali, and about simulation as well, you have a question. Okay, I will answer the first question. Yes, we generally plan for a session post completion of the training program, which you can certainly clarify your doubts if you have and you want to specifically get in touch with the trainer. If there are anything administrative challenges, IEVISION team, that is one of our team member who's dedicated for the CISSP program, that is Archana, she will be of course accessible, of course 24/7. I will not be saying that, but however she will be accessing minimum 16 hours a day, okay, to you. Next, your question, would you have certain time span after which we can appear for simulation test? We of course provide you that once you complete your training program, immediately we will enable your testing ID on the portal, that you can use it for good 3 months. If there is an extension required, that will be handled case to case basis. There is a question from Mahesh Shuhare. What is preferable, bootcamp or the official CISSP course? Now, this is something which is a competition, a question, okay? Mahesh, I would like to come up with straightforward on that, all right? Now, ultimately, objective here is to make you CISSP certified. We do not want to deliver only course as such. I would like to highlight the areas of course, the important aspects of this boot camp which IEVISION provides. One is the thorough preparation on the concepts, not really examination, oriented program. Obviously, we are concerned about your certification exam. Every session followed by a mock test. We want you to correct if there are any challenges or understanding gaps there and there itself. Next, You will be also getting the valuable, of course, I have mentioned that you will be getting the question bank from our side, which is again a latest one. You do not need to search anywhere on the net. If you at all you wish to, that is a person specific. I hope I am audible to everyone, right? Next, you will be also supported from our side for 6 weeks. That means one of our team member, she will or he will keep, of course, connecting you on your preparation. She will have your reports of the examination, that is mock exams that you have done. She will also take out the areas of concern that you might be coming up. She's going to take it to the trainer, and accordingly we can respond back to you. So as of course I have mentioned, this will not be only a boot camp. This will be an approach towards making you CISSP certified in the first attempt. All right. So there is one of our professional, that is Chetan, who have gone through the program, and of course now it is again he is registered for the program upcoming in Mumbai. He has gone through the boot camp, sorry, the official IC Square boot camp, and he has his own feedback on that, right? And similarly, there are many others also have gone through, and that is how we have also put the extra efforts, and we are putting that efforts where you can certainly get certified. All right. Uh, anything else that you may have?
Yeah, Mahesh.
Yeah, please.
When we prepare for strategy, like I have to plan for CISSP, maybe what I can say in December, and you have at least 2 months to prepare. So what is the best strategy we can say, whether to prepare 4 to 5 or 6 domains in which you are experienced, or read all the domains, all 8 domains in the 2 months or 3 months time span?
I will certainly want Amlesh to bring his expertise in that, and before that I would like to highlight what we have been observing, how people have been clearing CISSP. Approach is, before you come to the program, we recommend you to go through those subjects which you are confident. Professionals have, as a professional, of course, I would have, if I would have been you or anyone else, okay, what happens is that when the subject that I do not know, I try to read that, and that's where I get some kind of a demotivation, where this is going tough, or there are challenges or something which, and then we try to give these second choice to the overall CISSP, where we recommend here, try and read those concepts. Like example, someone is really good into, as she was mentioning, into disaster recovery, business continuity. Someone is really good into, example, licensing, asset security, or something other area. Someone is really good into the security engineering. Try to focus on that, all right? And of course, there will be what you will be getting is the pre-courseware or terms specifically, which is really important. Go through that before you come to the program. Once you come to the program, you will have that doubts, and you may bring that, you get it clarified. After that, what we recommend, this is we have been observing, that read your syllabus or the book that you have, and of course trainer is going to give you the way forward, how to read, okay, what time to spend, where, and all. So that Amlesh is going to give you, all right? Accordingly, you can follow. If you have anything additional efforts that you want to put in, you can. Somewhere specific to domain, I would like to pass this question to Amlesh now. Amlesh?
Yeah, as far as the domains are concerned, what I will say that it's not about something what we know, but even the areas which are not good. That's what I was saying earlier. We need to find out our weak areas, and we need to focus on our weak areas, because the examination will be testing you on all the domains. So as I was saying, people can be from different backgrounds, having different expertise in different areas. But again, you have to, as a holistic, a security professional, you have to focus on other areas also. So, what I will recommend that you should go through all the, domains. Now, there are two aspects of this. One thing is, if you're coming for the maybe the workshop, maybe you can focus on your domains, and then during the workshop you will get to know about the other domains also in which you're weak, and then you can, post workshop, then you can focus on that, on those the domains. But even for the examination point of view, or as a CISSP professional point of view, you need to have understanding of other domains also. So I would recommend to like that.
Okay.
Thank you, Amlesh. There is a question from uh, Nilohit. He's saying for getting CISSP certificate, I have to create a profile and which have to be endorsed by someone who is member of ISC Square. So as Amlesh is already CISS certified, can he endorse your profile? Amlesh, I am saying on behalf of you, yes. However, we need to see the profile and the your credentials, and certainly we can assist you. Yes, Amlesh.
Yeah, one more thing I would like to highlight here again is, don't worry about the the post examination part. That is not that difficult to handle. First thing is to focus for the examination, clear the exam. Once you clear the examination, the rest of the activities are not that difficult to do. Like for example, the endorsement. Now you get 9 months time period after you clear the examination to endorse your application. Now, as I was saying, there are two methods. Like you can approach someone whom you know, like as you said, Amlesh. Yes, maybe. But then, even if you don't know anyone, you can still send your application directly to IC Square, and they will do the same thing. So don't worry about the other part of the, as I was saying, the CISSP process. One is the examination, and other one is the endorsement and experience part. So don't worry about that at this point of time. You can very well get, I have not seen anyone's application getting rejected till date, so don't worry on that part. So focus mostly initially on the examination part. Rest of the part is not that difficult.
Thank you, Amlesh. There is a question from Salim. Can we attend the second bootcamp? Yes, Salim, you are most welcome. Uh, Arunima, prerequisite for giving CISSP experience is required. As Amlesh, I will clarify this. Arunima, Amlesh have mentioned before you join, yes, you can certainly write the examination. There is no challenge with that. To getting the certification from the, of course, examination clearing report, that you will be getting it. But this, for filing your certificate, you will have to have 5 years of experience, and to get your CISSP certified as a professional, you will have to submit 4+ domains of experience. And there is a, of course, 1 year of a discount obviously is there if you are a graduate and postgraduate for that. Next, yes, Abdul, I believe I have answered your query. Time frame to appear exam after training is completed. Generally, we recommend 2 months to 3 months, which you should be preparing, and you should be associated with us, and we will be assisting you in terms of the trainer support and all. Hey Amlesh, there is one question, last two questions we will take it up because we are over time. What is recommended strategy while preparing domains? Either read all or prepare few in which you are experienced. I believe Amlesh has already answered that.
Yeah.
Next question, what is percentage of users who have cleared the exam after attending training session? Wonderful, Abdul. This is really important question, and I would like to highlight that, which we what we have observed, and Amlesh and we have been observing. Okay, generally 9 out of 10 people clear who write the exam. The biggest fear is the 599 USD. and specifically someone is paying from his own pocket and company is not sponsoring. All right. So this reason people do not write the exam. Okay, that is one. People who prepare with the approach that we have recommended, we have seen they have cleared. Amlesh, I would like you to stress on this.
Yeah, what I've seen, over a period of time that what happens, once you go through a workshop, you know, and people who have just appeared after, say, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months time period between workshop and the examination, those have cleared in the first attempt itself. Now most of the times what happens, people they don't target any date for the examination, and what happens, over a period of time you will be busy in your work and all those things, then you think that your preparation is not enough, then then start preparing after that, and also after some time you'll feel that, okay, I've forgot everything, I need to start again and again, so right from scratch, so that way you'll be spending the same lot of effort and energy, time in doing the same activity again and again, which is not required actually. So always I recommend, you should target it within either 2 months or 2 to 3 months, and that is the ideal time where you can get it cleared. As I was saying, even if you prepare for 1 year at the on the before the day of the examination, you feel that you have not done this, you have not done that, and all those things. So always, as I will say that target your examination and start preparing for that, just like your university exam. The university will declare the date, and then you start preparing and you clear that exam. So similarly here also, target the date and start preparation. You'll always find it very easy to do.
Okay. Hey Amlesh, I have one last question.
Yeah.
Regarding the material that we're talking about, so I think we are providing the CIBEX 7th edition. Okay, so apart from the question bank that you have, and I'm sure when you're teaching CISSP, so you should know you also know about the other content that is available on the internet,
Correct.
like
Correct.
the CCQ questions,
Yeah,
which are
yeah,
widely like of most of the CISSP aspirants. Okay, and I think there's a new ICSP, actually a CIBEX book that has been launched recently of practice
correct.
questions, right? Now, which is widely, I think, being applauded by most of the new CISSP players who have cleared it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so I know you have mentioned that we have to read, and then so read the book once, twice, how many times, and then
No,
do we have any?
yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead.
please.
Go ahead.
Then please continue.
So also along with that, like, do we have any supplement book which is like what we call as the last moment go through book?
Okay, 11th hour kind of thing.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
That we have.
So yeah. So as far as the book is concerned, reading a book, what I've recommended, what I've said, earlier also, that I don't think there is a need to read it again and again. The thing is, what I've said is, like, when you read a topic, like if you're reading any concept, say for example, if you're reading a concept of, say, AES, Advanced Encryption Standard and all, right? So while reading, you can highlight the important part, maybe the thing in that. Like for example, if you're reading in symmetric cryptography or asymmetric cryptography, what are the importance of symmetric cryptography? The performance is important, okay, or is good in that. The key management is not there, very good in as compared to asymmetric. So these are the things we need to just highlight while reading. So while doing the revision, you do not have to read all the things again and again. You just read that highlighted point, and you will recollect all those things. So and you can reduce the time for preparation also in this way. So this is what I always recommend while reading any book or any material. Maybe it's a PDF file or anything. Nowadays, hard copy or soft copy, you can always highlight the areas if you want. So, or you can take a kind of a note of that particular thing. Apart from that, like you just said, you were saying, supplement kind of a thing. So apart from the book, we also share you the the whatever slides what we will be discussing in the the workshop. So that will help you in that 11th hour kind of a thing, because all the concepts will be there in front of you. You just have to go through that particular domain, and everything will be just like 11th hour kind of a thing which is required for you. That will be clear if you just going through those slides or maybe that material like that. And apart
Okay.
from that, whatever material we are sharing, there are certain material on the internet, as you mentioned, in the QC Secure and all. But that's a paid thing. But there are some certain material which are like open source and which are like free from the different the publishers and all. Those also we do share with the participants so that they can along with the what material we are sharing, they can also try out that different material also. Maybe for the mostly
Okay.
for the practice questions and all, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Okay. Thank you.
everyone, and thank you very much, Amlesh, for your valuable time and all your inputs. I'm sure this
Thanks,
is
Mr.
a great aid to all the professionals who are looking forward for this session. Uh, Thank you very much, and we will be certainly looking forward for your calls to take you and to make you CISSP certified. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, and have a wonderful time.
Thanks. Thanks.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.